Alright, time for the solutions for the mean, median, mode, and range sheet. I'm basically going to show you the answers and then talk about how to get them. On these first 8, so the first front side, I've already written down the data set from least to greatest, mostly because I just wanted to show you how to get the median. So to get mean, you have to add all the numbers together, and then you have to divide by how many numbers are. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 10 numbers in this first set. So add them all up, divide by 10. You get a mean of 34.7. To get your median, put your data set from least to greatest. And then you have to figure out what the middle number is. I just kind of tick off the sides until I get here, which happens to be 29 and 29. Well, halfway between 29 and 29 is 29. So that's where the range comes in. The mode is the number that showed up the most, which were these two 29s there. And then the range, that's from 93 and 12. So if you do 93 minus 12, you get the range, which is 81. And moving down to 2, get your mean the same way you did in the last one. Add all those numbers together. Divide by how many numbers there are. To get the median, you need to count off. I put your data set from least to greatest and figure out the middle number. It's looking like we have two middle numbers here. Add them together and divide by 2. That will give you 80, which is your median. The modes, notice how there's 2 of them. That's because there's two 91s and there's two 78s. That's why there's 2 modes. They're the same amount of each. The range, that's the max minus the min. So if you do 91 minus the min, you get that range of 73. Moving down to 3, to get the mean, you have to add all those numbers together and then divide by how many numbers there are. And I believe there's also 10 numbers in this data set. Yes, there's 10 numbers. You have to get median. And so I'm just going to tick off the... Make sure you put your data set from least to greatest. Then just tick off on each side until you get to the middle. There's 2 numbers in the middle, so you have to add them together. Divide by 2. You have to get the average of those 2 numbers. And if you do that, you end up with 60 for your median. The modes are the numbers that show up the most, which are 94 and 34, the end numbers. And your range is the max minus the min. And that'll give you your range. And on number 4, to get mean, add all the numbers, divide by how many there are. The median, to get that, you need to put your data set from least to greatest. And tick off from the max and mins until you get to the center, which has 2 numbers in this case. Add them together, divide by 2. If you do that, you'll get 58 per median. The mode, that's 64 because it shows up 4 times. And the range, that's the max minus the min. So 96 minus 20 gives you the 76 range there. Okay, moving on to the next set. These things are just the same thing over and over. Add them all together, divide by how many there are, it gives you a mean of 63. The median, you just gotta put your numbers from least to greatest, start ticking them off until you get to the center, which has 2 numbers. Add them together, divide by 2, that will give you a median of the 65. The modes are the numbers that showed up the most. 61 showed up twice, 79 showed up twice. So that's why those are our modes. And our range is the max minus the min. That gives you range. And so on the next one, you gotta get the mean, add the numbers together, divide by 10, how many numbers are, and get the median, put your numbers from least to greatest, then just start marking them off until you get to the center. And that center, that's actually like fairly wide between the 29 and the 79, but if you add them together and divide by 2, you'll get the 53.5, which is the median. The mode, 29, is the number that shows up the most. It showed up 3 times. And the range is the max minus the min. So we did 96 minus 17. That should be 96 minus 17. That'll give you your range of 79. 7, get mean the same way you have before. Add them together, divide by 10. The median, use the same way. You'll get these two middle numbers, 65 and 75, add together, divide by 2. That gives you 70. There's no mode on this one because there's no number that shows up more than once. And since all the numbers have the same amount of occurrences, there's going to be no mode. On 8, add together, divide by 10 to get your mean. The median is you put your numbers from least to greatest, look at your two middle ones, add them together, divide by 2, it gives you 44.5. The mode, 69, is the number that showed up the most, which was twice, and then the range is the max minus the min, again. And so that's what's going on all of these. Moving on to the back side, you're getting these the exact same way. Your mean's 55.7, the median is going to be 53, the mode will be 53 because it shows up the most, and the range would be the same thing as the max minus the min, which I believe is 25. On 2, to get your mean, you have to add all the numbers together, divide by 10, number of numbers there are. The median, if you list them from least to greatest, count off from the ends till you get to the middle, you'll have your median being 44. There's no mode on this one because all the numbers show up the same amount of times once. And the range is the max minus the min. So the max was 67, I believe. And the min was 27, yeah, so it's a range of 40. On 3, to get mean, add all the numbers together, divide by how many there are, which is 10. The median, you have to put them from least to greatest, and then count from the ends until you get to the center, the middle number. This one, there'll be two numbers in the middle, add them together, divide by 2. Mode is the number that shows up the most. Range is the maximum number minus the minimum number, so 94 94 minus this 21. And on 4, get your mean the same way. It comes out to be 79.4. Median, same way, 84.5. Mode is 98, the number that shows up the most. It actually showed up about 3 times there. And the range is the maximum number minus the minimum number, which comes out to be 80. On 5, mean is 63.3. Median is 60. There's no mode because all the numbers show up the same. Range, which is max minus the min, comes out to be 63. On 6, you have 55.4 for your mean. The median is 53. Mode is 53. And then the range is 65. That's the maximum number minus the minimum number. On 7 on the back, your mean is 54.5. The median is 55. So those are fairly close together. The mode is 55, the number shows up the most, which actually ended up being the same as the median. But range is the maximum number minus the minimum number, which is 79. And finally, 8, your mean comes out to be 54.2. The median is 52.5. The mode is 39. And your range is 81. And that's your whole assignment.